Hey guys, it's me, Danny. I want you to join me today. I'm going to replant some plants and mess around out in my garden with my flowers and show you my worm farm. So, hope you enjoy. Okay, so I'm going to show you my little worm farm. I decided that I wanted to have worms when I wanted to go fishing if I wanted to use the pond by my house, and I also needed something to get rid of scraps. And it's nice, you're supposed to use worm castings when you like do potted plants, or this helps your soil out. So I'm like, why not just do my own? So this is my little worm farm that I've made to give me the good rich soil I need for when I start my seeds and get them ready for planting outside. Because in Indiana, you don't know when spring's going to come. Like this year, it didn't get warm forever. And when it did, it got hot and humid like this. So, I'll show you what I did. Alright, this is my nice little worm farm. I just used Rubbermaid, a couple of those. I actually have 3, but I took the other one out because I had too much bulky shit in here that it wasn't breaking down fast enough. So I need to get it and put it back on there. But all I do is you just put it like a bag of garden soil in there, whatever. Go buy 1 thing of worms at Walmart or the bait store, somewhere like that. And then every time you have scraps from your fruits, vegetables, you put your eggshells in there. You can put trimmings from your other plants, dead plants, you know, just anything but meat, and nothing that's going to rot and stink. Because something got in here that was nasty, and I think it may have been something that was on something that got thrown in there, and it got little maggots in there, and let me tell you, it smelled like death in here. It was disgusting. But luckily, I just left the lid off for a while. All the little flies got out. The maggots died. So, this here is, if you look down around the edge, see how this looks just like dirt? That's not dirt. That is worm poop. See how it's all the way at the top? When they try to crawl up and get out, they crawl up here and they leave their poop. So you need to scrape it off. Scrape it all down, and then like I'm doing right now, I hadn't turned it in a while, and it was getting a little wet at the bottom because I did put some water in. It was a little dry, but I put some dry dirt in here from a pot that I'm going to show you later, and then you just turn it, and then you just keep turning it over so that, sorry guys, I'm trying to do this and hold the camera. You just turn it every once in a while so that the stuff at the bottom, which has, the worms have already kind of just mostly mud, poop, worm poop. You want to turn it so that you can get it all mixed up good, and they keep munching down on the stuff that needs broke down. Get down. Far enough. There's some wormies. Wormies everywhere. They're going nuts. You need to turn it, and like I said, if you want to go fishing, grab you some worms, some of this dirt, go fishing. You don't use them, bring them back. You use them, you've got plenty more. So it's a win-win. All you need to invest in is the little dirt and this. Now I did use some of the compost starter that I put in my composter outside in here because stuff wasn't breaking down fast enough. I was afraid it was going to kill my worms, but it actually didn't. So, you're good. I'm like my little sunflower that came up all by itself. And there's another one working on it too. And there's my plants that are dying because I keep forgetting to water them. Wino vibes. You know what I'm talking about, girl. Oh, look, Bumblebee. Hi, Mr. Bumblebee. Where did he go? He's in the flower. There he is. Those are, I think I planted those. There's another sunflower that came up. I feed my birds out here. These are wildflowers. My neighbors probably freaking hate me. But I don't care. I planted a bunch of wildflowers around the front of my house so that the bees had something to eat. Okay, the garden is full. So I guess I'm gonna put these over here with the watermelon, which are going crazy. And I need to fix them so that they stay over here. And pull a couple weeds. Now look at that sage, because I planted it outside compared to this poor little guy over here. Oh, looks horrible. I do have some ripe tomatoes, or almost ripe tomatoes. Those are going crazy. Some little ones. Well, a friend of mine told me, especially with these big ones, that I guess you're supposed to pick them when they first start to turn color. I don't know, but I'm going to because it's about to storm. And I don't want these to get split, because sometimes when it storms real hard or it gets dry and then real wet, you'll get the splits in the tomatoes when the weather starts acting crazy. Look at my poor little eggplant. It's trying to grow, but I don't know how it's gonna make it. Somebody's mad because they're locked in the house. So there's my tomatoes. I don't know how many of you used to go out in the garden when you were a kid with a salt shaker and picked your tomatoes and eat them until you got ready to puke, but that was me. I'm a cherry tomato freak. This little monster, you can't shut the sliding door all the way or she'll lock you out of the house by smacking the door. So I have to be very careful as she's waiting. Okay, I was recording this, but my phone turned off apparently, so, UPS man. We have really crappy soil here, especially because this used to be farmland. It's all clay. You notice the big chunks of clay in the dirt? It's all clay. So underneath the nice soil I have in here is clay and rock. So it's nice to have a little clay because it does retain water, but it's not to be all clay. So when I try to transplant, I try to break the clay up a little bit so it's not big clumps, because otherwise it's going to dry. It's going to be hard chunks everywhere. And it doesn't grow very good if it's got a bunch of clay right around it. So when you dig the hole, you want to mix, when you dig the hole, it's going to be just clay at the bottom of the rock. So basically you just mix some little pieces of clay and with the dirt, and then fill it in. I did mound it up good because those are really tall and lanky and they're falling over easy. I had to give me some off. These bugs are crazy. Okay, I got one of my cannas transplanted. Now I just need to get another big pot emptied out, or get more dirt and fill it up so I can transplant my other one, because they are root bound. I knew they were because they're not wanting to grow. But our hardiness zone here really isn't for these, so I'm trying to keep them in a big pot so I don't have to dig them up in the fall. So, and look what I got while I was doing it. I still had some potatoes in there. So now I got some more potatoes. Alright guys, I'm hot, sweaty, dirty mess. Hopefully you guys learned a little something today and enjoyed watching me get sweaty and dirty. And I hope you like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.